This may not be the easiest time in the world to be a supporter of President Trump. He's got an uphill fight on his hands, on our hands. So we should celebrate and recognize the victories when we get them. Georgia. I think this is great. Mainstream media is downplaying it, but there will be a recount in Georgia, and this is what we've been looking for. Now, if he flips the electoral votes there, it doesn't mean he's president for another 4 years, but it gets him closer. This is a significant victory. A lot of votes. What, 5 million cast? Only 14,000 separate the president and Joe Biden. This is exciting, and they're going to count them by hand. Secretary of State there made the right call. This is a genuine victory, and we should enjoy it, all right? I think there are more of these to come. And by the way, if Joe Biden and the Democrats were honest, they should embrace this, and actually, they should take back the whole notion that he's president-elect right now. President-elect is a figment of their imagination, and even Joe Biden himself pledged that he would not declare victory until these votes are certified, which has not happened yet.
Final question for you. Will you urge your supporters to stay calm while the vote is counted, and will you pledge not to declare victory until the election is independently certified?
Yes, and here's the deal. We count the ballots, as you pointed out. Some of these ballots in some states can't even be opened until Election Day. And if there's thousands of ballots, it's going to take time to do it.
Yes, he would not declare until it was all certified by an independent body. He answered that question, was asked that question on national television. But for some reason, it's ancient history. Nobody remembers, nobody cares, and it's Joe. We're not going to hold him to account for anything. Isn't that wild? And now all the pressure is on Donald Trump to concede. Let's talk what this is really about. The swamp, the establishment, they never accepted Donald Trump. Quite frankly, he never accepted them. He wanted to change the rules, change the culture, and the culture is resisting. It has resisted. It continues to resist. A big factor here, those career swamp guys and women, they want jobs. They want jobs, either in government or in private sector firms that do business with the government. A lot of them, their lives would probably be easier without Donald Trump in the picture. I'm talking about the swamp. Now, for the rest of us, we know what he brings to the table, all right? But the system, it is against him. Now, they may be thinking about their own narrow lives, jobs, and their futures. And, hey, everybody's got to take care of their family. But Donald Trump has a much greater responsibility. Do we have to remind everybody?
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So help me God.
He has a duty to defend the Constitution, a duty. And in that Constitution, there are a lot of sections and clauses and subclauses and chapters about free and fair elections. The media, they're looking for, I don't know, I'm so confused by them. I don't know really what their agenda is. It's anti-Trump, we know that. But he actually is fulfilling the obligations of his office. Meanwhile, where is the evidence? I keep hearing that from the other side. Well, you haven't presented the evidence yet. That comes. I mean, we've seen this on television, right? I'm not a lawyer. Actually, I wish I was so I could help out. I really do. But not a lawyer. But I've seen it. You file, and then there's the discovery process, right? And that's where the evidence is found. Now, this man, his name is Richard Hopkins. He is a mailman from Erie, Pennsylvania. And he has come forward, and the story is he has seen some really strange things with ballots and postal workers, and he reportedly filed some sort of internal complaint, a whistleblower, if you will. Well, the mainstream media jumped all over him trying to debunk his story. Now he's saying that he never took it back. They're reporting that he did. It gets a little confusing, but what's not confusing is that people are out to destroy him because he potentially has information that helps the president. Now, what do they do with people who have information that might harm the president? What do they do with them? They get the royal treatment, don't they?
The American people have heard the testimony of truly patriotic career public servants.
I have no interest in advancing the outcome of your inquiry in any particular direction except toward the truth.
Except towards the truth. And there they are, lauded by Time magazine, again, because they were going after the right guy, and they got great credentials. Did you see that one guy wearing a bow tie? But our guy, this mailman from Richard Hopkins, he's just a mailman. What does he know? Oh, no. And they jumped all over him and his story. He might have been badgered, by the way, in this process by the Postal Service. We'll see in the end, but I just don't like how they're treating this guy. From day one, they're trying to discredit him where they were celebrated, given national television time in Congress. We saw that during impeachment. A little bit over the top, maybe. All right. Meanwhile, the president today, it is Veterans Day, and he went to Arlington National Cemetery, and I believe he was truly moved. Let's watch this for a moment. I know this personally, that President Trump is committed to the troops on active duty, the veterans, and he thinks often about those who have lost their lives. Arlington Memorial, Arlington National Cemetery, I believe that's the tomb of the unknown soldier there. You can't tell me he's faking it or playing politics, but some little reporter at MSNBC thinks they can read the president's mind at this moment.
As the outgoing president, he's trying to remind Americans he is still the commander-in-chief. That's why he's doing this very important ceremonial visit to Arlington National Cemetery today. That's why you've seen some personnel changes at the Department of Defense and elsewhere.
She's so certain, isn't she? That's why he's doing this, because he wants to show people that he's still president. It is Veterans Day. He does this every Veterans Day. I know he thinks about the troops all the time, Memorial Day as well. But no, this is political signaling to show that he's still in charge. And it's all political signaling that he got rid of his Secretary of Defense. Oh, and did you hear about that at the Pentagon? The Secretary of Defense has been fired. Everybody was talking about it on the way to work. They were like, wow, Mark Esper is no longer at the Pentagon. I mean, I'm telling you, I heard it on the train. I heard it at Dunkin' Donuts. The girls over there were talking about it. I mean, Mark Esper is no longer, I'm sure you're talking about it with your families, of course. The mainstream media, they're documenting how people are traumatized that Mark Esper is no longer in the Pentagon.
Well, Martha, you've covered Washington, you've covered the Pentagon for years. Have you ever seen an interim period like this? A defense secretary out, 3 more top Pentagon officials tonight. And if this is unsettling for folks at home, what do your sources tell you tonight? Is there any concern that this could put national security at risk?
You know, David, no one has seen anything like this. There is concern about what this means. Is the president planning a military operation or the use of federal troops, which Esper opposed? Even Mitch McConnell praised Esper today, and Republican John Cornyn, a member of the Senate GOP leadership, said of Trump's decision to fire Esper, I don't think it helps him, and I don't think it helps the country.
Okay, first things first. Who is this Esper character, okay? If somebody offered you $1 million, could you pick Mark Esper out of this lineup of very nice gentlemen, huh? I don't know. I don't know how many people could do that. I haven't heard anybody talk about Mark Esper and his policy chief and some other assistant deputy all leaving. So what? It is the biggest bureaucracy in the world. They got plenty of bureaucrats to keep that machine going. But over there at ABC, they want to make it sound like it's on the brink because Mark Esper is not in the Pentagon. Let's actually, I know which one it is, by the way. It's the guy with the glasses, the second over from me, okay? Here's another picture of him. That's Mark Esper and General Milley with the president. This is after one of the Black Lives Matter riots in front of the White House, and I actually think he's totally entitled to fire Mark Esper and General Milley, for that matter, as well. These guys made such a public stink, quite frankly, about, oh, we're being used for domestic reasons. Well, there was a riot right in front of the White House, and yeah, maybe the military could be useful in such a situation. You know, we played the oath of office that the president takes. The oath of office that members of the military take specifically mentions defending the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Foreign and domestic. Both of these guys don't seem like they're team players. They're not taking care of the boss. And, well, I think the president made the right call, and who knows, maybe he'll make the right call again. All right, folks, we should touch on Joe Biden, Vice President Joe Biden. Remember, this whole Vice President-elect thing is a media fabrication, but he, I think, did a nice thing, going to a memorial in Philadelphia, War Memorial, and placing a wreath along with Dr. Jill Biden, and that's appropriate, very much appropriate. But I will tell you this, and I don't want to make it too partisan, but how do I say that? Democrats and the military often don't mix. I mean, they make such a big deal out of it. I mean, let's face it, Republicans have the reputation of being, you know, the pro-military, and Democrats not quite as much. So when you get a Democrat in the military, they never let you hear the end of it, like this guy.
I'm John Kerry, and I'm reporting for duty.
He lost right there. It was just way, way, way too much. And by the way, that crooked salute, that's no way to salute. More recently, Amy McGrath. She ran for Senate against Mitch McConnell. And every single question, and I say this as a fellow pilot, fellow Marine. I mean, I like all that stuff, but every single question, she brought it up.
That's not hard to do what's right for America. It's not hard. I'll tell you what's hard. Strap on a $70 million jet to your back, land it on an aircraft carrier at 150 miles an hour at night in bad weather with no navigational aids. That's hard. Doing what's right for the American public in the middle of a national crisis, not hard.
All right. Lighten up, Amy. It's great that she did that. I'm kind of proud of my service, too. But bringing it up as much as some Democrat politicians do can get a little bit annoying. But you know who really takes the cake at this? Phony veteran Pete Buttigieg, the former mayor of South Bend. Here's another reason why we got to stop Joe Biden. I really don't want to see him president, because there's a rumor that this guy, who didn't go to boot camp, found a weird backdoor entrance into the Navy Reserve. But boy, oh boy, he won't let anybody forget about that. They're talking about making him Secretary of Defense in a Biden administration.
Let me tell you about my relationship to the First Amendment. It is part of the Constitution that I raised my right hand and swore to defend with my life. That is my experience, and it may not be the same as yours, but it counts, Senator. It counts.
Oh, boy, just way too much. And I actually wrote about this a while back for the Wall Street Journal. I counted all of the times Mayor Pete mentioned his, 3 months in Afghanistan. Again, he found this weird backdoor into the military. He talked more about his 3 months in Afghanistan than John McCain talked about his 5 years in Vietnam when he ran for president in 2008. It's incredible. I got the numbers to back it up. So I don't think this guy belongs in the national conversation anytime soon. All right, brings me back to Donald Trump. Did not necessarily serve in the military, but I know he deeply, deeply cares. And when he goes to Arlington National, it's not for show. It's because he's got a good heart and he's doing the right thing. He never got enough credit for reforming the situation over at the Veterans Association. He announced when he ran for president that that was a problem over there, and he vowed to fix it. Not many candidates were talking about the VA when they decided to run for president. I think he will prevail. It might be a rainy day, but sunny days